Hola. From the west side. It is me, DCThePurpleDiva. Welcome to Not So Random Chat. Happy Sunday, y'all. And it's the beginning of another week. Officially, it's the first full week we will have in 2020, since we're only 5 days in to this new decade. There were some football games going on this weekend, y'all. And I may not look like a football girl to y'all, but those that know me know that I am. But, my team is and has been sitting on the sidelines for quite a few years and are again this year. But guess what? The New England Patriots are going to be sitting at home too. That was a joy for me this weekend, y'all. That was a joy. Because I am still of the club that they cheated. Oh, so not too many years ago to get to the Super Bowl. Cheaters. That's what I think they are. That's what I think of the quarterback. So I'm very, very, very happy that they're not. It's all good. So I see I have somebody watching. It's okay. You can come into the chat. In other football news, the Ravens will be playing next week. The Vikings are going to be playing next week. That was a good game. Hey, Matt. I'm sorry, Matt. You know how I feel about them. I'll try not to show so much glee. I'll try not to show so much glee. Okay? And now Philly's gone home too. I don't know what to tell you. I think, bad break for Carson, though. Bad break for Carson. But I don't know. I think Russell wanted this a little bit more. So they're going to be playing next week again. I think that's going to be a very good game, actually. I think the games next week are going to be good because there's some players in here. Here's my thing. I think the very fact that the Patriots got knocked out this week has just caused a fury in the AFC. So we don't know what's going to happen. Hey, Darren. Hey, AKA James. So, I mean, I know that's your team, Matt, but now it's like the AFC is wide open because we don't know who's going to make it to the big game. Hey. Y'all think it might be somebody like the Ravens? Think they might make it? Yeah, I know. But that game, y'all, that game. Hey, y'all, Do y'all think that he's going to just retire and be at home with Giselle now? I think he should. Yeah, I think he should go ahead and retire now. And y'all, the Saints, what can I say? Sorry, Saints. I'm sorry. That game was kind of a toss up for me. It was basically who wanted it more. Yeah, Tennessee came in there and they took care of business. I mean, you got to think about it. A couple of expansion teams from the last that are still in the running. The Ravens and, of course, the Titans. Good teams, too. So, I mean, this weekend was a surprise for some. Matt, I don't hate them. I just think they're cheaters. There's a difference. See, I hate the Dallas Cowboys. That's the team I hate. Yeah, I hate them. I hate the Raiders. Hate them too. And I'm not really a Miami Dolphins fan. So, yeah, those are my three teams, but I just don't like cheaters. That's my real issue with the Patriots. That's my real issue. Hey, Ready, Set, Go. I know it's late there. Thanks, Chris, for coming through. Yeah, Buffalo Bills did something. That's what I'm saying. This was a very interesting weekend in the AFC. It was a very interesting weekend, y'all. Can't nobody, because people just assumed that it was going to be the Patriots. People assumed. And now that they've got knocked off, it's who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? And outstanding performance today for Russell Wilson. Like I said, tough break for Carson, but outstanding game for the Seahawks. It is what it is. They wanted it. Yeah, I know. And I'm not even a Stephen A. Smith fan, But with the Cowboys, you either love the Cowboys or you hate them. I am a Washington Redskin fan. I cannot, in all good conscience, be a Redskin fan and even like the Cowboys. It's that conference rivalry, I don't particularly care for the Giants either. So we're all going to be sitting home together watching the rest of the playoffs. It is what it is. Looks like it's going to be an NFC Central or NFC West team. And I don't know what it's going to be in the AFC. I'm telling you, those Ravens are looking kind of nice. And even though they have gone to a Super Bowl and won a Super Bowl, and even though the Redskins have not been to a Super Bowl in a minute, they're still the new kid on the block. And the Ravens still feel like they have something to prove. So they're hungry. So I wouldn't be surprised if they make it all the way. I really wouldn't. But we'll see what happens with Mr. Brady. We'll see if he decides he's going to retire. That would be an interesting thing. We'll see if he decides to go ahead and retire now. You know, y'all, I know, but y'all, I know the DOD is walking around in the clouds right now. Hey, Mitchell family. I know the DOD is in the clouds right now because these Vikings have moved on. So he is in heaven. I know he is. I know he's in heaven over the Vikings. You know, and Vikings played good. I'm happy for him. You know, I'm happy for the teams that, you know, either haven't been to the playoffs in a minute or haven't made it past the first round in a minute. I'm happy for those teams. Because it would be interesting to see the not the predictable people in the Super Bowl. I mean, and hopefully it's a good game because you want a good game for the Super Bowl, especially because it's going to be in Miami. You know, I remember that my late nephew played in the Super Bowl that was in Miami because he was on the Chargers when they went to Miami to the Super Bowl, and he was on that team. But you know, for them, they were just they couldn't believe they had made it to the Super Bowl because they were such a young team. But you know, I was a blessing for him because that was the only Super Bowl he ever went to. You know, and he played with Junior Seau. Really, Matt? Well, all I know is the Dallas Cowboys fired their coach. Yeah. I knew that one was coming. We were all waiting for that shoe to fall. Now maybe Dallas, along with the Redskins, can get some new coaches to bring in new coaching staff with them, because we all know that you can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't have the right coaches, it's all for naught. Yeah, Junior played with my nephew. Yeah, I would see him a lot of times when we would go to the games and everything. He was a really nice guy, but I think that he was a victim of that concussion stuff, that happened with so many football players in the past, which is the reason why when Carson Wentz got hit in today's game, he was out, because now the NFL doesn't play about that stuff anymore. Ever since that movie came out a couple of years ago, and they got all that bad press, and then you had people like Junior taking themselves out of here, they're taking it seriously. A concussion is a serious thing. Good night, Chris. Tell Manda I said hi. Yeah, guys, I put up a different avatar. I don't know. That's how I'm feeling tonight. That's how I'm feeling tonight. And since they allowed me to have, a storage of avatars on StreamYard, I have a few. I almost decided I was going to be the purple angel, but I'm not feeling very much like an angel tonight. So, I decided that I wouldn't perpetrate that fraud. Sometimes I'm an angel. Tonight, I'm just a human. I was, where was I earlier? I was in some other chats over this weekend. So people have been having really deep conversations in their lives this weekend. Not the kind of deep conversations I have, but, just about, relationships and about dating and all that stuff. And I don't really talk about that kind of stuff that much. I look like I'm ready to fight. Oh, that's probably maybe because it's in black and white. Yeah, I just wasn't smiling. I look serious, I know. But yeah, I wasn't smiling in that picture. But yeah, people were talking about all different kinds of things. It was actually interesting, and I guess I don't really talk about dating and that kind of stuff a lot because mainly I haven't done a whole bunch of dating per se. I've usually been in relationships. Either I'm in a relationship or I'm not in a relationship. I don't date a whole bunch of people at the same time. And because I'm older. Hey, Terry. But, I think that it's probably different dating in different age ranges. In my age range, I don't know. I don't think we really date. I think we, find somebody we like and then, usually that's kind of it. But I know like the younger generation, they can do that serial dating and stuff. It's got to be exhausting, especially with the way they put their relationships online. That's the thing with the younger generation. Everybody knows who they're with, or when they're having a fight, or when one of them is cheating, and then we all get to find out about it with them. Woo. I'll tell you one thing. I'm glad none of that was around when I was younger, like when I was in my 20s and dating. And it was around when I was dating, when I, dated. I've dated in recent history, but yeah, I've never been one of those people that does the online dating. And I'm like, people get into relationships online and stuff these days, and I don't even understand that. Hey, Joy. I don't understand the online relationships now. That's really interesting and weird to me. Hey, Miss Mahogany. That's true. Hey, don't nobody want to be sleeping around with the whole world. That's exhausting. Plus, you might catch something that you can't give back. And I'm not talking about a baby. Shoot. You know, because the interesting thing is that in certain areas of the country, heterosexual women over a certain age are the primary ones who are HIV positive. Now, you have to wonder, is it them sleeping around, or is it the men that they're sleeping with that's sleeping around? I don't know. Because I would like to think that as people get older, they tend to be more monogamous. You know, one person at a time. But I could be wrong about that. You know, I mean, I might be wrong about that, you know, because I mean, I'm not out there. You know, I don't do the club scene, you know. I go to karaoke. Okay. I go roller skating sometimes, you know. Yeah. And I go out for coffee. I do that kind of stuff, you know. So I don't know what they're out there doing. I would assume that older people do normal stuff, you know, like go out to dinner, go out for coffee, you know. And, you know, they generally don't jump in bed on the first date. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't know. I'd say the one time that I was one of those girls that was dating a bunch of guys was when I was 18, 19. 18, 19. Do you hear what I'm saying? That's the last time I was that girl. And that's when I was still on the East Coast. I wasn't even in California. Yeah. Yeah. I think I had like 3 boyfriends. And I was juggling them. I'm telling you. But I wasn't sleeping with all 3. Only one was getting it. That's the wild thing. I was crazy. Yep. One of those guys was a dealer. I don't even know why I was dealing with him. But that wasn't his day job. That was his side hustle. Like I said, 18, 19, hanging out in the clubs in DC. Yeah, you know, and I mean, and literally that we're talking about in the early 80s, okay? Y'all know I'm a lot older. So we're talking about in the 80s, you know, and then when I went to college, I wasn't that girl. I was definitely not that girl. And then after college, you know, the club scene wore out extremely quickly. You know, like 2-3 years, by mid-20s, I wasn't going to clubs. You know, I was a roller skater. You know, so that's what I was. That was my thing. So if somebody was going to meet me, they were going to meet me at the skating rink. That, you know, so I was in skating is an underground cult, but that's what I was into. I wasn't in the club scene, even though I could dance. I was a good dancer, you know, but the clubs were meat market, guys. And I mean, they still are, you know, but now it's all about, when people meet people, it's all about their social media. Then they go check out people's social media. you know? And they have a problem with people who don't have a social media footprint. Or if they may have a weird social media footprint. Ooh, Miss Mahogany, I didn't kiss everybody. Yep. Nope. You can't kiss everybody. Period. You know? That's true, Terry. There's a lot of games on the social scene and everything. So it's like, you know. And then you have people, even I would say even in my age range, people play games. It's like, who has time for games? Either you want to be in a relationship or you don't want to be in a relationship. Either, you know, and if you're one of those ones who wants to be around with a whole bunch of people, bye, see ya. You know, see ya. Exactly. That gets worn out quick. Let me think. Now, that's something I used to do. I used to hang out at the stripper bars with my boys when I was younger. And I think I've only been to one male exotic dancer party where the guys were dancing. But I would go to the strip clubs with the guys. You know, that was no big deal to me. Yeah, the male exotic dancers, and most of those guys are such whores. Okay, they are hoes. You know, they are real garden tools. You know, I'm like, stop it. You know, and I mean, and the women that go to, you know, no shade, no tea, but the women that go to those clubs and throw themselves at these guys, ladies, come on, stop it. Hey, Emmett. Hey, M City, how are you? Yeah, the women that go to those clubs with the male exotic dancers. I think they used to have like one here. There was a black one here in Los Angeles. I think it was called Maverick Flats. They used to have male exotic dancers there. Yeah. I never went, but I know people who did go to the male exotic dance shows. Yeah, I've heard that it was interesting. I think even when they did one of those like documentaries in regards to that, I think they even featured that place in one of those documentaries. Oh, thank you, M City. Yeah, but the club scene, that was never really I mean, you know, I could, maybe because I went to clubs when I was not supposed to be in them, like 18, 19, you know, and then I come to California and I can't really get into any clubs until I'm 21, except for the Sleazy West. The Sleazy West in Los Angeles. It was called the Carolina West. But yeah, they had telephones in that place. But you only had to be 18 to get in. And I would go by myself. And it used to trip guys out because I guess they, you know, be trying to take me home. Nah, dude. I came by myself. I'm leaving for myself. I came to dance. I just want to dance. That's it. Oh my God, Miss Mahogany. Oh, the right track. Oh yeah, the right. I forgot about the right track, Miss Joy. I forgot about that one. Yep, that one too. But yeah, the Sleazy West. That's what we called it. But it was the C West, the Carolina West, and it was right next to a strip club. You know, so the traffic from there over there would come into the club, and they literally had phones on the tables and stuff, and people could call from call your tables. Yeah, it would be all these old guys that were really disgusting. Yeah. Like, and then they had a few places around LA back in the day. And of course there was always the notorious Fridays, TGI Fridays. That was one of the reasons why Magic Johnson, when he wanted to bring a TGI Fridays into the black part of town, had such a hard time getting it in, because the last time there was one, there have been all kinds of stuff, and it was not in per se the black part of town, but it was where everybody went. So, but he got it there. It's still there. I don't know if he still owns it. I don't know if he sold it or not, but he got that Fridays there. I think he ended up, at one point, he owned a couple of them here. But I don't know if he still owns them. But, you know, like, I don't know how people do it, you know. And, you know, anyway, as a woman, I'm not supposed to be looking for somebody anyway. He's supposed to be looking for me. And then once he finds me, then, okay, well, then we good. Right? Then we good. You know, but, you know, older men who are players and trying to date multiple women need to go have a seat. They can't. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. And there are some of them that do that. I've encountered some of them. I didn't have time for them. I did not have time for them. You know. Yeah, nightclubs. There must be someplace else to meet somebody. You know, and I mean, I know people talk about, you know, like churches, but if you're not really the church going type, then that's probably not going to be the place for you to go to meet somebody, you know. But I say, you know, I know they have those meetups where you meet up with people that are into similar things, like at wine tastings and stuff. Those are interesting places to meet people, you know, or at museums. I don't know. I don't even know. It's like, that's the thing, you know, but, you know, the online thing is, for me, that would be a tricky thing because people lie so much. I mean, I'm going to show my real picture, but would they show their real picture, or would it be a picture of them from 20 years ago? You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. People do that kind of stuff. Heck, people do that on their Facebooks. They don't even have recent pictures on their Facebooks. Oh, I know you do, Terry. Yeah. The clubs are just not, I don't know, maybe that they're more for the youngsters. I mean, And even for, I say after you get past your mid-20s, you're probably not going to want to go to a club. They just play out after a certain amount of time. They don't, what purpose do they serve? Happy hour, go out, dance, have some fun and everything. But it's like I said, I think that they're probably still meat markets. And so you can't have a high expectation if that's where you're meeting people. Now, I'm not saying you won't meet somebody nice in the club, depending on what age range you're in. But if you are in your 40s and there are 50-something-year-old men in the club, you need to question those men as to why they're in the club. Guys, 1 second. I'm going to put y'all on mute for just 1 second. All right, I'm back, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, grown and sexy parties are nice too. Grown and sexy parties are nice, just getting together with a group of friends and stuff, just hanging out. That's how a lot of us did. We just would hang out with friends, just have, let's just have little parties. But definitely not the club scene. I don't know. But like I said, I was a skater. And I was doing music. And so like most of the people that I met was either skating, doing music, or karaoke. Because that's what I do. That's what I do, I'm not hanging out at a club. And I'm definitely not in that age range to be hanging out at a club. And none of my friends, like if we're going to hang out, at somebody's house and we're going to be sitting there drinking wine and talking and chilling, with or without significant others. That's generally the kind of stuff people do in a certain age range. Or you go out to dinner, go out to the movies with, groups of friends that are single. If you're single, do those you can do a lot of group activities with friends. That's generally what people do. I'm assuming these days because does anybody really go to clubs anymore after age 25? I'm just wondering. Now people hang out at bars, people hang out at the happy hour after work for a minute and stuff, but that's not quite the same thing. Because again, you're still out there and gone home by 6 or 7. People don't generally hang out and party all night long, even if it does turn into a club on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night, because folks got to get up and go to work in the morning. So they don't tend to do that. Yeah, Well, I stopped in my 20s probably because I got married, you know. And I mean, but then I would still go every once in a while. And then I mean, every once in a while, you know, somebody would have something at a club. You know, people would still have birthday parties at clubs, even though you don't really go to clubs. People would still have a birthday party at a club. Like, but now, like, if I had a birthday party, it might be at a karaoke thing, you know what I mean? Or I'd have a dinner, but but a club would never cross my mind as a place to have a birthday party or to have a party, you know? And it's, you know, just probably because I don't swing in those circles anymore, you know. But I mean, people still have things at clubs. They still have events at clubs, you know. And that's generally the only way you're going to get me in a club. If somebody's having some kind of event. Oh, and go to the club. Yeah, yeah. And you would think, like, I mean, like, when I was younger, yeah, there were plenty of clubs. I mean, it was just like my friends and I, and we weren't even married. It's just we suddenly were at a club happy hour, and we were drinking, and we were people watching, and we were just like, why are we here? I mean, like, we're not going to talk to any of these guys in this club. We're going to have our drinks and we're going to go home. And we may or may not dance with them. You know, I mean, so, you know, but I think clubs is definitely a 20-30 thing. And then after that, you shouldn't be in a club. You know, unless you're there with your significant other, you know, and it's some kind of party that y'all came to. You know what I mean? Like it's an all-white party or all-black party. Those kind of things. After a certain age, that's the kind of stuff that you do. Or you go on boat parties. You know, when they have those boat parties, if you live in cities where, you know, where they have ports, where you can get on you know, on big boats and go on a cruise around the harbor or whatever. That's the kind of stuff you start doing as you get older. You know, and you still meet people, because there'll be people that are single in every age group as you get older. But, you know, as we get older, there starts to be less and less people. And, of course, there starts to be more and more women and less men. Because, unfortunately, for men, women live longer, generally. You know, but that's not the case. Like with my parents, though. My dad is still here. My mom, rest her soul, she's no longer with us, you know. But my mom was a little bit older than my dad. You know, she was just a little bit older than him. And I'll say that my dad has always taken better care of himself. Surprisingly, because he's a doctor. Because, you know, doctors really don't take the best care of themselves. But this one has taken good care of himself. which is probably why he is still a practicing physician at the age of almost 81. That's right. I love that about my dad, you know, because he still has his wherewithal and you know, everything going on upstairs the way it should be, that he can still be one of the best dermatologists in the world. Let me just tell y'all that. Of course, all of us had gorgeous skin, so we didn't need a dermatologist. But my dad did. But my dad did help my son, who is the one who got the bad skin, from that he inherited it from my dad's mother, which is the reason why my dad's a dermatologist. Matt, I'm telling you the same thing, because like a few years ago, I went home, you know, just went home to visit, and my baby sister by another mother, one of my sister's best friends, she was doing club promotion. So she gave me, you know, some tickets to come down to the place where she was doing the club promotion. Okay, so I go. So keep in mind, I am 40-something at this club. And and it was like, you know, like basketball players, like some of the Wizards were there and stuff. And, you know, the little 20-something girls. And it's in the dead of winter, guys. It's in the dead of winter. But these little girls still had on midriff tops. And they had beer bellies. And they had the audacity to have their navels pierced. And I'm like, no, I didn't act like that when I was that young. I didn't. I know I didn't. For number one, I didn't have a beer gut. You know, because I wasn't really the beer drinking kind of girl. I mean, I'll drink a beer, but I wasn't sitting there drinking beer all night. Now, I know why people drink beer, because it's the cheap drink to get. But what they don't understand is if you keep drinking that drink, you're going to get a gut. Little girls, I'm talking about, but they had a gut from drinking beer. And apparently the little young boys thought it was cute. Yeah. Because they were steadily talking to him. So they on some new stuff these days. You know, modesty is not part of the equation. You know, and I understand if you have a nice body, you should flaunt it. But I always have left a little to the imagination. I'm serious, Terry, a beer belly. And this girl couldn't have been more than 25. Couldn't have been more than 25. Oh, and then she had her tongue pierced. And the reason I know is because she kept sticking it out when she was talking to the guy. Now, I know she was trying to send him some message, but, you know, come on, ladies. Let's be classy about it. I'm like, as soon as I was like, I didn't even have to think about I wasn't like that. I never was like that. Because number one, if I have on a midriff top, and I'm talking about at any point in life, even when I was younger, in my 20s and stuff, if I'm wearing a midriff, showing my assets that way, you best assured there was a man draped on me. Because that's the only way I'm going to come out looking like that. Somebody's there to protect my body. Then I'll happily, you know, show all of that. Because it's for him. You just get to look. But I'm telling you, even when like I would go out to do karaoke, because karaoke is primarily done in bars, and they do play music and people dance in between the karaoke. At most karaoke places, I will say the karaoke places that are frequently by people of color. I'll put it that way. But so I see how some of the younger people act at some of those things. I do. That's true, Terry. They do like it left to the imagination. That's what I'm saying. But these little girls don't understand that. Think about it. Now, it's all about them getting likes and stuff on their social media and stuff. It's all about the Instagram, the Snapchat. Stefan, you're up. Happy New Year. Yeah, but you know what, Stefan? They have the best. They some the nightclubs here. They can be kind of, I don't know. People kind of fake and perpetrate because they'll have the people get bottle service and stuff at some of them. Oh, your cat woke you up? Your cat woke you up? Well, I'm glad that your cat woke you up. Happy New Year. Okay. Yeah, mine was good too. I got sick. I was sick, yeah. And lost my voice one day. But for the most part, but I'm getting back to myself now that we're in this new decade. Everything is good. It's good. I'm excited about the new year. I'm definitely glad that we're in, excuse me, a new decade. And, but everybody, looking at how people are at the karaoke clubs, I can just imagine what I see, how people interact in there, because I still see young men and young women, and then sometimes young men and young women and young women, because it's that kind of party sometimes. And it's just how they act around each other, and the way that they dress and the way that they talk to each other. Sometimes it's just kind of crazy. They call each other bees, and my N word. And everything's all good until somebody's mad. I know, I can't believe we are in the 2020. We're in 2020. And what I say is that this year, may we have 2020 vision in the first place and not 2020 hindsight. Letting go of the past, going forward to the future. We are moving forward. Yeah, now jazz clubs, jazz bars are nice, Miss Mahogany. They've got like they had a really good jazz scene here in Los Angeles area for a long time. Like in the valley, in the San Fernando Valley, they had like a couple of really nice jazz clubs, and up in the Hollywood area. But now they don't really have as many as they did. I mean, we have the Playboy Jazz Festival that happens here, and then the Long Beach Jazz Festival, you know, but the jazz scene here is not as popping as it used to be. And, you know, because you like to go in a bar where they got a nice little band playing. Oh, yeah. I used to bartend, so I know. People will tell you their life story if you let them. And they always want you to drink with them. But bartenders, they don't drink the drinks. They'll have a watered down version of whatever it is that you're having. Because they can't be back there drunk. But I love just sitting back and listening to jazz. Now they have some jazz lounges. Like, Terry, that's what I was saying. I was at a jazz event. Actually, one year at the Long Beach Jazz Festival, they had a cigar tent at the festival. So you could hear the music often, over to the side while you was in that tent. I think they had to pay a fee, to be part of that tent and everything, but they had it. You would have liked that, Terry. Yeah, because I can imagine, having a nice glass of a good cognac with a cigar and some good jazz music. Yep. That would be the ticket. And I'm not even a cigar smoker, but I can, that just sounds like that would be good. That just sounds like that would be good. Shoot. Maybe in my next place that I have, maybe I'll have a jacuzzi again. Because I had a jacuzzi at my house that I had. I got rid of it when I got rid of my house. So I had no place to put it. But I would love to have one of those again. So I have to get into another place that has a backyard. Oh, the Rolling Stones? I love the Rolling Stones. I love the Rolling Stones. Yeah, it depends on what the jazz club caters to. Like, I used to go to this one that was in the LA area that was part owned by a jazz musician. I think it was Pablo Sanchez. Yeah. And so he would play up there all the time with his van. And he would bring in like the best artists. Like the best artists would come up into that place and feature. He had a few of these really good guitarists. Oh man, I'm telling you. And then he had this guy that's a drummer. I can't think of his name, but he came in there and he had the band, but it was centered around his percussions. Salsa is really good too. I love the salsa dance. There's a couple of good salsa places on this side of town. I might have to take somebody out to go salsa dancing with me soon. But they don't have like, and then there's a couple of places that you can go and do the Chicago step. Go stepping. That's good to do. A lot of people like to do line dancing. That's the thing now. Let's learn how to do all these line dances. Interesting enough for me, Stefan, is that as I got older, the older I got, the more I like jazz, even though it was introduced to me at a very, very young age. I mean, my dad used to play Stan Kenton, guys. I don't know if y'all know about Stan Kenton, but if you don't, look him up. My dad had the jazz versions of the entire West Side Story that Stan Kenton did. I think he still has it because my dad has, like me, is a connoisseur of the vinyl. And he has a lot of albums. I have a lot of albums. Yeah. My dad, that was one of my introductions to jazz. Stan Kenton. And the album he did of the jazz version of West Side Story. My dad had out here Grover Washington, Ramsey Lewis, the Ramsey Lewis Trio. So I was educated on a lot of the jazz of the day, 60s and 70s. I have a lot of CDs too, Stefan. I have a lot of albums. I have a lot of CDs. And I don't play none of that stuff. But you know what? I'm gonna hook up my component set and I'm gonna play some of my albums just so I can listen to some records. Because some stuff is not even available on CD. Like, I have this album by the group The Family that's not available on CD. Y'all remember the group The Family, the group that sang that song Screams of Passion? Them, yeah. I have the album. Yep, that's part of the Minneapolis sound. For those who don't know. Oh, I love Kim. I love Kim. I remember when he did a tour in the early 2000s, because he doesn't tour that much anymore, but he did in the early 2000s with Kindred the Family, with the Kindred the Family Soul. And I knew them because I had met them a couple of times, several times, flying back and forth. And that was like the best concert. Kim, that man is so talented. I don't know why he doesn't do that much touring or anything. He hadn't put nothing out in a minute. But he is, yes. So, and can play the piano. Oh, yes. Yes, I know Kim. He got that kind of music, you know. You can tell he's singing from his soul. You never heard of Kim? Yes, it's spelled K-E-M, Terry. You got to listen to him. He hasn't put anything out in a minute. But you will enjoy his music. His music has always been for the 35 and older crowd. So you would definitely enjoy it. Oh, really? I used to have, I used to like put music mixes on USB things. Because now they have those radio, you can stick USB into your radio now in the car and you can play the music. On most of the cars with those electronic, I think I'm going to get one of those Apple Play radios. Either I'm going to get it in the car I have now, or I'm going to get a new car that already has it in it. But the funny thing is that, like most of us, I have so much music I have so many iTunes libraries on several different computers with so much music, that I've bought from iTunes. And then I have CDs, from the artists who actually still put out CDs. If they actually put out a CD, I'll actually buy it. But most of them don't even bother to take the time to do that. Yeah, I know. Going through the crates of records to see the and they still have record stores that still sell vinyl, because they still sell limited vinyl. Artists still do those. It's a trip. There's some artists that'll still do limited vinyl. You just have to find it. But like here, I think they have this place called Poobah's that has it. And then I think Amoeba went out. First, we thought they were going out of business, but they ended up, I think, moving. Yeah, there's like 2 places in the Los Angeles area that you can get vinyl. Now mostly everything is on CD or digital. Oh, Jeanne. Oh, Miss Mahogany. When I used to do my radio show, the group Jeanne was the intro to my radio show. Yes, that was the intro to my show. The song they had called Vibe, because my show was called Vibing with DC, and it was called, and it's the way, and I played the first part of their song. I can never play it on YouTube because I'm not going to get a copyright strike, but you can, if you go look out on SoundCloud. I think I still have some of my shows out on SoundCloud under DCThePurpleDiva on SoundCloud. You might find some of my old shows out on my SoundCloud account. And Jeanne was the intro to my show. And I exited my show with Janet Jackson's Funny How Time Flies When You're Having Fun. Yep. I did a radio show for like 10 years. Yeah, Blu-ray. Yeah, I don't. You know what? I mean, people get the Blu-rays, I guess, when they buy movies. Most people don't even buy the movies anymore. They just wait for them to be, on cable or on Amazon or on Netflix. I still have a tape player in my car. I still have cassette tapes with music mixes on them that I play in my car. Yeah, I have, the car, because my car is older. So I still have a cassette. I have a CD player and a cassette player. So I still play cassettes. And I still have a VCR. And I still have VHS, because when Disney decided they were going to get rid of all these movies, so I bought I have a lot of the Disney stuff on VHS. And then when they released some of those on DVD, well, then I have the DVDs of the stuff that got released on DVD. But some of the stuff never got released on DVD. And so the VHSs is the only way you can see them, unless, you happen to belong to Disney Plus, so you can see all these movies. But I have most of those movies on VHS, and I have a working VHS/CD player, DVD player, and I can even, I think it's one of those ones where you can change them from a VHS to a DVD if you wanted to. Oh, I am a P-Funk girl. P-Funk. Yes. The Landing of the Mothership. The Clones of Dr. Funkenstein. And then I like that song by Funkadelic, Cosmic Slop. I like the version that they did on the airfield. Yes. I love Parliament Funkadelic. P-Funk. And here's a little secret. One of the brides of Funkenstein is a member of my church, and I've known her for like years and years and years. And I'm talking about one of the ones she was actually on the Clones. She was actually one of the original brides of Funkenstein. Yeah. And she was still touring and stuff with him, when he was touring and stuff. Yep, Casey and the Sunshine Band. I remember Casey and the Sunshine Band. I mean, I remember AWB, Cut the Cake, and A Love of My Own. Yes. And then no one can ever forget Daryl Hall and John Oates and Sarah Smile. Sarah Smile. That's all I gotta say. Sarah Smile. That was the joint. Everybody loves that song. Everybody loves that song. Fly like an eagle. Oh, you can fly like an eagle. into the future. Did you? Really, Mahogany? Yeah, Bootsy Collins. Yep. I have an eclectic taste too. I like a lot of different types of music. Does anybody remember? Do you guys remember that the group Soft Cell? I used to love Soft Cell. I used to love Soft Cell. And then there was Kraftwerks and Trans Europe Express and Numbers. Man, they just need good music. They just need to get good music again, guys. The music today is just, they just regurgitate. They like go and find beats. Nobody has any original stuff. Like stop making a song out of somebody else's song. You know, like I love my girl K Michelle, y'all. I do. I love my girl K Michelle. But don't take Can You Stand the Rain and put it into your song. That's all I'm saying. Stop it. Really, Stefan? There was a documentary on Soft Cell? Tainted Love. Tainted Love. I love that group. I'm going to have to go look for that. Wow. Really? And they remade that song. So Soft Cell's version was a cover. Wow. I didn't know that. I did not know that they were covering that song. I thought that was wow. That's interesting to know. I wonder if that documentary, I'm going to go look for that documentary. No, Soft Cell. Soft Cell, not Soft Spell, Terry. They were like out in like the early 80s. Yep. Yeah, Soft Cell, not Soft Spell. They had this song called Tainted Love. That's probably the song that most people will be familiar with by them. But the whole album was good that was on. Oh, wow. Really? Wow. CELL. It's SOFTCELL, like a cell. Yeah, like a cell. A jail cell or a cell, a person, like one of your cells. Oh yeah, Tears for Fears. I love Tears for Fears too. I remember when they used to have, before there was an MTV, and they had Friday night videos, and we would see like all the groups from around the world. Like you got to see Men Underground, and got to see Def Leppard, and God, it was so many different groups that we got to see. It was Friday night videos. They would come on every Friday night. Wow. God, you just don't know the connections. You just don't realize the connections. T-Rex. Wow. You don't even realize the connections. It's on YouTube? Cool, I'm going to go look for it. I'm going to go look for it. Cool. I'm going to be on it. I'm going to go look for it too. I sure am. Oh, yeah. George Michael. That was so sad. I used to love George Michael. Careless Whisper. Man. That song. And I am clearly, guys, I'm a Prince fan. Prince likes purple. I like purple. Why would I not be the fan of the purple one? If I'm a purple diva, I have to. Man, I was so jacked up when he died. I was so jacked up. I was in grief for like about a month over that. I was messed up. I was more messed up over Prince than I was over Michael. If that makes any sense. And I was a like fan of both of them. But when Michael died, all we had was Prince. And we just knew that he was going to live forever. You know, he was going to live to be an old man. And he didn't. He literally didn't. You know, and he hid what he was going through until it was too late. Oh yeah, Grace Jones. Grace Jones. I love Grace Jones. Y'all know that Bishop Noel Jones is Grace Jones, is the minister, Bishop Noel Jones, who has the big church in Los Angeles. He is the younger brother of Grace Jones. That's her baby brother. Oh yeah, the Eurythmics. Annie Lennox. Annie Lennox. I love Annie Lennox. Sweet dreams are made of these. Yep. All of them so good. Y'all taking me on a musical journey. But I'm looking at the time, guys, and it's like almost 11 here on the west side. And much as I would love to stay on here late tonight, tomorrow is the beginning of the work week. And in my meeting on Friday at work, because I had to work this weekend too, y'all know. My boss has already told us that we're going to be having a nice, busy week. So I'm going to end this here in a minute or two, because we're like a little over, we're almost at an hour and a half. But we'll be back on tomorrow. And tomorrow, I'm hoping that we will know a little bit more about what's going on with us over in the Middle East now. Because, right now we're waiting for an answer. Because Mr. Trump has sent a message. Now we have to see what Iran is going to do. Because he has decided that we're at war with them. Preemptive attack or not, it was a direct, act of war. However, he can't actually declare war. So we're going to see what happens this week. It's over. It's over. I'm trying to think who. Oh, yes, it's over. I don't know who. I know. It's in my head, but I can't think of who it is, Terry. I'll figure it out, and I'll put it in the comments under this live stream. Yeah, I know. Is it
Sybil?
Sybil. Oh, Sybil. Yeah, it's probably, that is her. This is over. Da, 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 da. I don't know. I can't think of the words. But that's the song. The artist is named Sybil. Thank you. I'm being told that the artist's name is Sybil, Terry. Yeah, so we're going to see what's going to be happening this week. It's going to be an interesting week, y'all. It's going to be an interesting week because, Congress is back in session. Okay? And impeachment is about to start. But in the meantime, our president has done something that is basically an act of war. So Congress has to say something, and of course, we're now waiting for Iran. We're waiting for Iran, and it's not going to be a good thing. Not going to be a good thing. 10,000 of our men are over there. 10,000 of our young men are over there. Okay, I understand you want to protect the American embassy. Personally, I would just get our people out of there. I would just get them out of there. That's what I'd do. So, anyway, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and end it here because I think tomorrow's going to be a very interesting day in world affairs, thanks to the President of the United States, number 45. So, guys, until tomorrow, I would like to thank everybody for coming through. Thank all of you guys here in the United States and my friends across the pond. Thank you, everybody, for coming through. Thank you, everybody, for smashing that like button. And until then, I offer you guys peace and blessings from the West Side. Until tomorrow, guys. I'll see y'all then. Bye.